It's not a pretty big shock to find out that Telltale Studios was tremendously downsized this month. This issue has been covered fairly well, so I'm not going to spend too much time explaining exactly what occurred and focus more on the recent developments surrounding this event. Long story short, Telltale decided to get greedy. As they got more and more franchises under their belt with their interactive point-and-click-esque games, the developers working on these games didn't see an increase in pay. In fact, the wages and benefits offered to Telltale employees was already lower than what is expected at a development company of that size. Earlier this month, due to them spreading themselves too thin and losing money, Telltale had to shut down, or at least we thought. Several parties have stepped forward willing to fund Telltale to continue development of select franchise games. The issue is, the employees that were laid off received no severance, health benefits only till the end of this month, and no 60-day warning, which was not only unethical but also, according to the federal and state WARN Acts, illegal. It just seems unfair that the company that caused these issues is being bailed out while the creators and drivers of the studio are the ones that are suffering. A former employee has already stated that they will be pursuing a class action lawsuit against Telltale based on this neglect. The California WARN Act specifically states that any company that employs 75 or more part-time or full-time individuals that decides to reduce their occupancy by 50 or more employees must give a 60-day notice, which Telltale neglected to do. There are some reasonable rules in the Federal WARN Act that would exempt Telltale if the events that occurred happened due to unforeseen circumstances. Unfortunately for Telltale, the California WARN Act doesn't include this exemption. Regardless, I don't think they would even qualify for the exemption if it existed, as there have always been issues at Telltale. In November of 2017, the company had to lay off 90 employees for the same attempt at saving money. Even back then, while most of us were in shock, those that were close to the culture of Telltale saw it coming. They reported constant overworking of employees, catastrophic management, and loss of creativity due to their hectic environment. Apparently, this is also a trend with bigger studios, where developers are hired in large amounts to hit deadlines and fired afterwards in order to save costs and maximize profits, which hasn't really been brought up too much to the consumers, as it's on the other side of the industry which we never really hear about. We're used to seeing the presenters, directors, and the people in charge, but it's really rare to see the people getting nitty-gritty with each line of code. It's not uncommon for a developer to work at several different companies during their career, whereas in other industries, some individuals go their entire lives working in the exact same building. I'm unsure what we can do as consumers to help change this trend besides supporting companies that don't partake in such hiring practices. Furthermore, Telltale has pulled The Walking Dead, the final season, from all digital stores so that they can hand over development to another team, which makes me question their motive. Did they hand over development because they couldn't finish the game and wanted fans to experience at least some ending, or did they see more profit in selling their assets to another company instead of continuing production? And I really am skeptical, because if they wanted us to experience some form of ending, they could have released a webcomic of sorts, but they haven't made any plans to do so, and I definitely won't be purchasing anything that Telltale produces from here on out. I don't want any of my money going towards a company that neglected to treat its valuable employees with even the most basic healthcare benefits. And while we might never get to experience the true ending of The Walking Dead, it's a small price to pay if the outcome reverses industry standards to prevent this from ever happening again. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked this video, please leave a like. If you didn't like this video, go ahead, feel free to dislike, but make sure you comment to tell me what you didn't like about it. If you want to see more content just like this, remember to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.